Good morning. Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon. Welcome to Extol Unfiltered, caffeinated by NWSB. I'm Angie Fenton. This is meteorologist Ben Peine, who I think you're going to probably see a lot of today.
Yeah, our first winter weather advisory of the fall 2025 season.
All right,
so
Ben,
that's exciting.
Can we go ahead and take a look outside and see if we can catch any snowflakes out
Let's
there?
do it. There have been a few flurries out there, and we'll get some steadier snow showers. I actually do see a few of those flakes there if you look in front of that brick building right there. But for the most part, I don't think the roads will be in bad shape, as we'll have a lot of melting going on. Temperatures generally today will be a little bit above freezing. But bundle up, that's the big impact for all of us. It is going to be very, very nippy out there with winds around 10 to 20, some of the wind chills in the teens and 20s. But as far as that snow, at times we could have some bursts of some moderate snow out there through about early mid-afternoon. And winter weather advisory goes until 7 p.m. today. I believe Meade County, Kentucky, and Breckinridge County, and Perry County in Indiana closed school today. Everybody else went to school. So
school is in session still.
So an inch or less, mainly on the grass and elevated surfaces. Might be some slick spots on bridges and overpasses and things like that. But I'd say by early mid-afternoon, that snow will start to taper off.
So we're not expecting a widespread Snowmageddon event today.
No, but it's exciting to get that first snowfall. We got our first wood stove fire inside. I woke up like 2 times overnight to feed the fire last night. And you just saw my daughter Hannah just FaceTimed in from Bloomington and IU.
And she's like hood, hat up to here, but it looked.
She walks like miles every day to class, so she's got to bundle up. But also they have a little dusting on the grass up there in Bloomington, so that's what's heading our way.
Okay, so that's coming in again around.
So right now it's just starting to start light. I'd say it'll be steadiest late morning, early afternoon.
Okay. So. We're in downtown, uptown New Albany on the corner of Vincennes and Market. And my kiddo goes to New Albany Floyd County Schools and just got the notification from the superintendent just kind of breaking down, here's what you can expect for weather. And I love that he put in the email, we're hoping for a calm weather or calm winter.
Yeah, we're hoping.
We're hoping.
They
Ben, can you confirm?
I've got a student in the same district.
I know you do. Yeah.
So, but I missed the email. Maybe.
Oh, you got me. I'll keep you informed. But I mean, really,
usually I get a text.
It came via email, and it came 7-something this morning when we were doing show prep. But I mean, honestly, I think I'll be coming to you more often than not. Can I even say this out loud? Are we gonna make it through the day? What are the odds? Are we gonna school's going to continue? Everything's going to be fine?
I think so. I think a lot of this is going to be melting, and it'll be all right. Especially by mid-afternoon, I think we're probably in good shape for buses to get out. So.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. For those of us who are ready for the first snow, and
I thought you just meant it as a Monday. Are we going to make?
Are we going to make it through Monday? Ben, you and I both know this. I mean,
it's a good Monday so far.
We're going to have to do rock paper scissors on that one with Monday. Well, speaking of good things, though, it's been a good start so far. I think it looks like maybe we've got some great weather. You told me my daughter has a soccer tournament on Saturday, and you said it's going to be what? 70s?
This just shows
Look
how
at the
wacky our weather is. So we've got 30s today, wind chills, teens and 20s with snow showers. It's going to be very cold tomorrow morning in the 20s for our Veterans Day, and 46 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Thank you to all of our veterans, by the way.
Absolutely.
And then milder air begins to move in midweek, upper 50s to around 60 degrees Wednesday, Thursday. And then we're going to make a run for 70 degrees by Saturday. So the warming trend just continues, and then we might get some rain by late Sunday, very small chance on Friday, but mostly dry for the rest of this week. So whiplash weather. It's going to be up and down, I think, over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. As always, especially as we're watching winter start to unfold, we love to know where you are watching from, whether you're live or you're catching us in the replay, and what does it look like, because we always go back and check and comment. I'll pull up this first comment here from Carol Peine. Let you take that one, Ben.
Good morning, guys. Lightly snowing in Georgetown, Indiana. Thanks for the reports, by the way. Love that, what we call ground truth.
Absolutely. Kathy Kreider says, good Monday morning, 2 exclamation marks.
Here we go.
Kathy, we need that. It is off to a good start. Now, we have guests who are here this morning, but before we head to that, first of all, our event of the week presented by Rasmussen Chiropractic. And if nothing else, this one is going to get you in the spirit. Love this. The small businesses of historic downtown Jeffersonville look forward to another holiday shopping and dining season, and it's the 22nd annual holiday open house, and that's Thursday from 5:30 to 8:30. If you've never been, and it looks like it's going to be delightful weather, although I would take a few snowflakes with this.
Yeah, a little
But
festive flake.
shop, dine, and explore downtown. The small businesses, Love Local on Spring Street and the surrounding streets. That's Pearl, Court, Maple, Chestnut, Riverside, etc. Plus the Jeffersonville High School Choral Ensemble, the Devil's Advocates, and local bands will be singing Christmas carols and holiday tunes on the sidewalks. We always love that event of the week presented by Rasmussen Chiropractic.
So speaking of that, Sarah, my wife, is wanting to, when Hannah comes home from school next month, to do something like festive, like go to a play or something like that, which we've never really done. So if anybody has any ideas, if there's something going on at an event, let us know.
Absolutely. There's, and it's,
Force Brady to go to one of these things.
well, and it's funny, Ben, that you say that because we've talked about this a lot. This time last year, I was in a very different place with the cancer battle and just kind of making it through. And so, I mean, right now, if you come to our house, I've got little pockets of Christmas stuff getting ready to be set up, indoor, outdoor. And I've started making a list. One of the places I'm absolutely going that my daughter and her dad, my husband, go to, Kentucky Kingdom. Have you seen what they do for winter?
No.
Okay, I think even Brady would like
Maybe
this.
that's a good idea.
Tubing. I mean, like they have allegedly the biggest,
nice.
I mean, it would be considered artificial, but I mean, the lights, Santa, that's one of the places. But I also would love to see what we have going on over here. Ferdinand, Indiana. We'll talk about that next week, but there's a
Sure, there's
host of
stuff
things.
French Lake's probably got
Oh,
stuff going on as well.
Charlestown.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about Christmas City.
How early do you decorate?
I mean,
Right after Thanksgiving.
if I have time tonight, stockings are going up, Ben.
Like,
I've got
November
lost
1st has become,
time.
like the new time to but you gotta have the fall stuff out for a while.
So we had the fall stuff out. We've still got it out, but I'm just waiting for a certain elf to arrive. I think he's supposed to be here around Thursday or so. That's the message I got from
that
the
might
North
start it
Pole.
off.
And
I had another good. When should you do this question? It was on Bob and Tom this morning. So shout out to Bob and Tom. But it relates to what I was doing this weekend. My brother-in-law Spencer is obsessed with blowing leaves. How early is it appropriate to start blowing your leaves
In the morning?
in your neighborhood? Yeah, he started at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. I was like, that is too early for your neighbors.
I'm looking over
I
there.
would be out the window.
So former city councilman, what is the actual
noise
answer in
ordinance?
hour?
There is, and that would fit fine within the ordinance, but it's.
So Jason Applegate is saying that actually fits fine in the ordinance now. I mean, we're up early, so as far as I'm concerned, 8:30 would be more than fine. Now, if you are a blower at 6 in the morning, you're not winning MVP neighbor.
My sister's family, they make bets on when he's going to start the blower and how many times during the day.
I know, but I
It must
bought.
be a satisfaction thing.
How many blowers do we have at our house? We have a lot of blowers at our house, and I bought one at an auction. I just thought that I would help up the bid, and then I won the bid.
Nice.
And then I started blowing leaves, and I was like, this is awesome. And then the dogs, we just had some fun. I'll just say that. They like it. You know that I'm a
wanna get
big
one of
animal
those
lover.
Big new cordless ones that my mom has. Those are fun.
That's what I have. I can bring it in here, but we can have some fun. But
That's blowing talk on a Monday.
yes,
Comment on how you guys do.
but you also
Blowing leaves.
blowing leaves. Oh, Leslie Shipley.
Getting grown.
We're going over. Good morning. Snowing in Madison. I bet that's gorgeous.
Thank you for the
Oh,
report, Leslie.
Leslie, I bet that is gorgeous. And Kathy, just one word: cold. I'm with you. I got locked out here and was scrambling to get my keys, and I was like, help, let me in. It was so cold. But Ben, we're blowing leaves, all kinds of things. But this weekend, you all got together and did some work.
It was a busy one. So this is like our whole family here. So this is my brother's family, my sister's family, my dad, and my stepmom. So the goal was his 76th birthday up here in Indianapolis. And he had just a lot of things he needed done. So between all of us, it was probably like 30, 40 hours of work hours within just a few hours during the day. So we chopped wood, we dug trenches to lay drainage pipe, we we got gravel moved around. So that was the big gift.
Well, I think
To
that's
my
a
dad's
great
son.
gift. And he turned how old?
76.
How young?
Yeah.
Because my mom just turned 80, and it's just so hard to, like, really? Are we sure?
But I'm glad how well he's doing because
Oh,
I owed him that because he helped me one weekend.
He
to
sure
cut all the
did.
Firewood. and
I know
everything.
when you say 76, 76 means something different today than it did
Mm-hmm.
to us however many years ago. All right, Ben, before we welcome our guests, well, it is Monday, and you know what that means. It's time to place that Ready, Set, Prepped order.
Ready Set Prepped is a way to provide a service for people that may have a hard time finding places to eat just because of their dietary restrictions. We accommodate any sort of dietary restrictions, so if you're low carb, or gluten-free, or vegetarian or vegan, any of our meal prep meals can be adjusted that way. So we're located at 1222 State Street in New Albany, right down the road from Baptist Floyd Hospital. We are open Wednesday through Sunday, 9 to 4 o'clock.
I definitely have to place my order before we welcome our guests here in just a second. I got a bunch of test results back from my primary care physician. Let's just say the pre-diabetes numbers are coming back. He said, he gave me the range of vitamin D, and he said, yours is in the basement, which was not a compliment to me. So there are a bunch of things that I have to now start
fine-tune a little
doing.
bit.
Now that and to get the stamina, but he also said if I increase the vitamin D, my energy will increase.
Yeah.
But I didn't love seeing that I'm inching closer to that diabetes again.
Especially when it's cloudy like this all the time.
Oh,
This time of
and
year.
at 100%. So gonna get that ready, set, prepped order in, that's for sure. But times, I mean, and one of the things that I've always said about Ready, Set, Prepped is it helps me with my grocery bill, which we all know grocery bills are increasing because when I order them, we eat them.
And you don't waste
We
it.
eat them, and I mean, I made a comparison because we waste, which is something we don't want to do. But right now, a lot of the talk is how expensive groceries are. We all know this. SNAP benefits they've been paused, and right now there's a negotiation that's going on. So we want to welcome our guests today. I'm going to pull up their names right now, but we have Lauren Broderick from CASA of Floyd County. And then we also have Adrian Jameson, who is from CASI, which stands for Community Action of Southern Indiana, which we very often hear as CASI. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And want to really start out with explaining, Lauren, start with you explaining your organizations and what they do for the community.
Yeah, we're CASA of Floyd County, so we empower community members to advocate for abused and neglected children. So we're a very volunteer-centric organization. We love to see the community get involved and advocate for children who have open child welfare cases and just walk alongside of them and make sure that they are not navigating foster care or child welfare alone.
Right. And Adrian, what about you?
Yeah, so Community Action of Southern Indiana's purpose is to help people reach self-sufficiency. We have a number of programs to do that, including early childhood education, Head Start, housing, health, basic needs, and financial literacy. So no matter where you are in your journey, we want to make sure that you have the resources to get to that stability.
Now, what are you seeing right now? I mean, let's back up. Even before SNAP benefits were paused, the call went out, I mean, community-wide. And we are seeing people at least in the organizations I'm involved with, almost, if not record numbers of people giving back and trying to ensure that neighbors are being fed. But what are you all seeing in terms of that need?
Yeah, so the need is tremendous, and it starts with food as kind of the basis of what we need to get through every single day. The number of people who are experiencing higher grocery bills or who don't have access to those SNAP benefits is increasing, and it creates this waterfall effect of, do I pay for my grocery bills this month or do I pay for my rent this month? And that leads over to all other aspects of your life. And I know Lauren sees that a lot on the child welfare side as
And
well.
that's the parents' worry, but you think about the kids these days and how my kids have grown up with just the anxiety of social media and making relationships, but to add the extra worry of trying to think about food every day,
Right.
just makes it way more difficult, obviously.
One of the things that I want to ask is that if you are joining us now or you're catching us in the replay here on Extol Unfiltered, Caffeinated by NWSB, drop in the comments whether you know where people can get help, if you have resources, or if you're searching for help yourself. We've got two people who are very plugged in, Southern Indiana region, who may be able to provide those answers, if not now, then coming up and responding. So if you have any of those answers, I mean, one of the things that we found, City of Austin, Indiana is one of Extol's clients, and they collected a bunch of bags. They opened their doors at 8 o'clock. I'm not even kidding you. Clerk Treasurer Chris Fugate sent me a text message at 8:13 a.m. And I mean, I think there were over 100 bags, all gone.
Wow.
All gone.
Yes. And unfortunately, that's going to be the reality for a while, not the exception to the case. So most food providers are kind of raising the red flag and saying, we have this tremendous need and we have fewer resources than we ordinarily have. The good news is if you go to anywhere in Southern Indiana right now, there's someplace for you to donate food. So whichever organization already you work with, or if you're just at the grocery store, they've got donation boxes there. A lot of that goes to Dare to Care, which is kind of the regional distributor for organizations. So you can be assured that it's going to go where it's most needed.
That's what I was going to ask as we get into the holidays. The need's always there throughout the year, but is it food or money, both? Just whatever you have, you know?
I would say food is a huge priority right now. As Adrian mentioned, when food becomes scarce, people shift their priorities. And so that's what they will purchase, and that's where their money's going towards. So at CASA, we've started to collect diapers, knowing when families are in crisis, they'll stretch diapers for longer, or they'll stop buying them altogether, again, in order to focus on food for their family. So I think that there's multiple ways to give not only in items that people need, but also in volunteering. We're part of a collective, and a lot of these organizations are volunteer run. And so if you can give of your time to help distribute food, to visit with people, take care of them, that is really needed right now.
Where can people get plugged in though to do that? I mean, when you talk about that, because I love the people who, okay, if you give me an Amazon link, tell me, like Hope Southern Indiana, I'm involved in that board. Here's the link, grab and go. Like, I love that. But I also love, and we need the people who, I have a car, I'd like to actually hands-on and help. So where do you, what's a location or an address somewhere we can plug people in?
So I think this is one of the opportunities of the moment, is that nonprofit organizations are working more collaboratively together than maybe we ever have. And the whole point of that is to make it easier for folks who do want to get involved to take action in something in a way that's very accessible. So whether it's by giving money, whether it's by donating food or volunteering, you can go to the organization that you're already familiar with, and they will get you to where that needs to go. So if you already work with CASA or with Cassie or with New Hope or Life Springs, and you have something to offer, let them know. You can go to their websites, you can go to the local grocery store, or if you don't know where to start, volunteermatch.com is a great place to get you some hands-on, kind of lets you search for an opportunity that meets your needs.
And volunteermatch.com will boil down, okay, this is where you should go. And so just go and visit there.
I think schools are so important too, because that's where they get a lot of their resources and blessings in a backpack and things like that.
Yes, we've seen that the schools really stepping it up. They're being asked to do a lot. For kids, you know, this is reminiscent of COVID in that there's just a lot going on at one time, but we're all committed to improving the outcomes, especially for children and families.
Lauren, you work in primarily, I mean, abused and neglected kids. I mean, it's hard. I know that's hard work. It's important work. In terms of how you see when basic needs are harder to access, how does that impact what you're seeing? I mean, in my head, there has to be some correlation with a rise in, unfortunately, the families that you see.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, we are anticipating some extra hotline calls and getting more involved in some families' lives due to just circumstances. And so we'll see, parents, they need to go to work, and so sometimes they'll leave kids at home that are too young to be at home by themselves. Again, we'll see those priorities shift where, taking a child to the doctor that needs to be seen immediately, that goes by the wayside in order for parents to get to work. I mean, we really just have different elements kind of coming to fruition that just make our families just kind of push them into a crisis situation. And so we're going to see more child maltreatment, unfortunately, or just children experiencing neglect due to just a lack of resources for our families.
That's a hard one. Earlier you mentioned a collective. Can you explain what that means and maybe name drop some of the organizations? Because I know that people who are in our community will have heard many of these names.
So the Southern Indiana Resilience Collective is an informal group of nonprofit organizations that span that social welfare safety net. And we wanted to come together and address this holistically because we knew this goes beyond food, it goes beyond child welfare, it goes beyond housing. All these things are so interconnected. We can't solve them as individual organizations. So we have over 20 members who participate regularly. We get together, we talk about what is the challenge of sometimes the day, sometimes the week, and what resources do we have as a group to meet those needs. And of course, Lauren and I both participate in that. Southern Indiana Works, Life Springs, Family Arc. There's 20 of them, so it's a huge group, but just a tremendous amount of resources and passion in one space to problem solve together.
Does that space have a webpage?
We don't. It's
Okay.
completely informal.
It's literally
Okay.
informal. Okay.
Community group. Gotcha.
It's just a community group.
How do you all stay hopeful in all of this? Because, I mean, you are privy to things and that I think would keep most of us up at night. And I'm sure sometimes, if not more than sometimes, due to you all. I mean, how do you hold on to hope?
I would say, but community.
Yeah.
The way that we've seen community rise up, especially over the past few weeks, has really been incredible. I mean, we're hearing stories of organizations that do food distribution with shelves that are full and restocked immediately. For us, when we did a drive for diapers, we saw an immediate outpouring. And so knowing that the community is here, they see, they recognize, and they want to help has been incredible. And it's really been a motivator when you see that you have the community support and they are here to help their neighbors.
Absolutely. That has to be tremendous. I'm going to pull up this quote, this comment from Kathy. And again, if you want to weigh in here on Extol Unfiltered, caffeinated by NWSB, we would love your input. Kathy says, my case manager has taken me to a couple of food pantries this year. Due to several illnesses, I haven't had a job in the past few years and have no close family still living. And she adds, I like to give back, but I've had to be on the other side, unfortunately. First, Kathy, thank you so much for just being so honest and candid and sharing that experience. And also know this, you are most certainly not alone.
And what a reminder, like, we're so busy in our day-to-day lives to, like, just having you guys on to say, hey, like, and my kids are older, so I forgot about diapers and how hard it is
Oh my
to raise
gosh.
the little ones. So
How
it's a good
expensive.
reminder, yeah.
I mean, between that and, I mean, I know we're not talking, the crisis in childcare, but if you are opening your eyes, I mean, One Southern Indiana and Ivy Tech partnered to address this crisis in childcare, and it's gotten worse. I mean, if you are at all aware of what's happening locally, I mean, childcare centers are closing left and right. And then I saw the vouchers are not the vouchers for early childhood. I'm not saying that correctly, but now they're gone.
Yes.
So what the funds that are available to help make childcare more affordable
Yes.
for families has really, that the number of vouchers available has dramatically decreased, and the amount of those vouchers has decreased. So it's really a challenge for those folks who run quality early childhood education centers to run and pay their employees, a cost of living wage, and also for families to find childcare that's affordable for them, so they want to go to work.
I mean, I remember, I'm not so far removed. I remember like the last load of diapers, like, oh, thank goodness we're done with that added
I was gonna say the
expense,
exact same thing. Yeah.
right? Do you, in childcare, paying for that? Just,
Yeah. We were on the Dave Ramsey plan, like trying to do our best. And I don't remember, we had like a $100 bill, which to some that might be a lot, some maybe it's not very much, but Sarah lost it, dropped it, cried in the parking lot. It's like all we had, to feed the family. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
and I think people like right now overnight, and I'm not going to pull up, but like WLKY is who we would, probably pull up and go to. And nationally, there's a whole host. I mean, I watch everything from Fox to MSNBC to, I like to see everybody what they're talking about. But right now, it looks like they're inching closer toward an end to the shutdown, allegedly. We'll all believe it when we see it. And then what happens with our healthcare premiums? I mean, that just came in the mail.
Yes.
We're $1,000 more a month.
So
in
this
26.
is one of those other opportunities I think we have as a community, is just to recognize that there's all of these environmental factors going on at the same time. So if you're an employer and your employees are coming to you struggling, they're having trouble accessing childcare,
Yes.
or maybe they just don't even have access to food, is that something that you as an employer can help them with, or provide some additional flexibility in their schedule? Or if you're a landlord and rent is coming up, but your families don't have access, they're truly choosing between food and rent, can you create some sort of payment plan that makes it more accessible? Just extending that extra little bit of grace to everyone as we all try to figure out what's going on and how to survive will go a long way. And it really speaks to the community that Lauren was describing.
I know, Lauren, you would agree with that.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know some folks that work during the shutdown that have told me that still have to work during the shutdown, that they only had like 2 or 3 weeks of money to get by, and it's gone longer than that. So.
At Hope, I mean, so Hope Southern Indiana, we have a food pantry, and that's a big part of what we do. In addition to different programming, we help with emergency services, et cetera. But we are seeing families who are federal workers who are coming in because they're not getting paid. And people first-time families, those numbers have increased. But again, there is hope in seeing how much this community is working to embrace one another. I want to bring up this. So here's one of the many, many, many places, but NWSB, which sponsors this show, has started today through December 15th, which I love because we need food no matter what day it is throughout the year. I mean, this is nothing new. It's just this is exacerbated. But at any NWSB location, they are collecting canned food, non-perishable items, snacks, dry cereals. And even though it's not on the list there, like you said, Lauren, I mean, essentials and things. So NWSB's food drive, and of course, that's for Reach, which is doing tremendous, tremendous work in our community as well. Any final words of wisdom for those who are overwhelmed, not just from the helping our neighbors part, but for those who are like Kathy? Kathy was very honest. This is what I'm experiencing. Any final words for people who are just really going through it and could use some help?
For people like Kathy and for our community, we see you. We really see you, and we want to be here, and we want to help you. And I think, again, just the beauty of the community coming together, and that's what we are supposed to do as a community. When we see each other struggling or we're going through it, that we stand up and say, hey, I'll be here and I'll walk alongside of you as you experience this. So I just would want everyone to know that we see you. I'll share a little bit, if you don't mind. When I was in my 20s, we moved across the country from my husband's new job. I was expecting our third child, and he took fresh out of college, took a short, small little job, and we could not make ends meet. And we relied on government assistance for about a year, and it was wonderful. It was there when we needed it. I was so thankful. This was a while ago when you paid with checks. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Yes.
But we all need help sometimes, and that's what these programs are here for. And that, again, that's what community is here for. And so again, we see you.
Adrian, what
It's
about?
really hard to go after Lauren.
I know. I know.
But yes, I think the whole point is that their self-sufficiency is temporary for everyone. We will all go through stages where our health is not where we need it to be, where we are trying new things, where something didn't work out. We are taking care of our elderly parents or young children, and that just strains your resources. And that is absolutely the role of community, is to help provide those extra supports when you really need them. And there's no shame in doing that. We are here to help. We want to help. And so does everyone else.
And I mean, if nothing else, that keeps you from spiraling into that hopelessness, because you look around and people are really good. People are really good. I mean, I think there are far, far, far more people who are good and want what's best, not only for themselves, but also, hey, can I help you out a little bit? They want their neighbors to be okay too.
Yeah, I'd say, as we see, this need's probably not going to go away. If you're a family that's able to give, bring in the kids, let them see a part of this,
Oh my
how
gosh,
it works, and
yes.
then in the future they might be givers as well.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you both for taking the time. I'm sure this is just the beginning of the conversation that is going to continue, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah, thanks for being here.
That's for sure. Okay, I love
And
this.
thanks to Kathy for sharing your
Oh,
story.
I love when people will take the time and be vulnerable enough to share. Kathy, you shared, and then Lauren did, and it just, if we continue, like you said, I see you. I mean, we just spread that around. Okay, we'll be back in just a moment.
Extol Unfiltered, 9 a.m. Mondays, caffeinated by NWSB.
Some mornings, one cup just isn't enough.
And that's why at NWSB, it's banking the way you want, from people you know wherever you go.
And Extol Unfiltered, the same idea. Southern Indiana tidbits and topics from people you know the way you want, only better.
Now that's worth a refill.
I love those mugs. I love those mugs with that little soft, oh.
But what a conversation. That
What
hits
a
home to
conversation.
lot of people.
It does. I mean, we grew up in rural Michigan, single mom who actually, I'm going to go back to the comments in there. Single mom, Holly, Michigan, and I mean, we grew food that we canned and froze, and I mean, had a massive garden. We had a farmer who they would plant their corn and use it mostly for feed, and then they would plow our long gravel driveway in exchange for that. And I mean, people will say, "Oh, you're from Michigan, you're from Detroit." And I'll be like, "No, not that there's anything wrong, Detroit, but my neighbors were cows." But we grew up, and she always, I love this, she always taught us that we give back. And so our church, like, she would make divinity and fudge, and like we would do it all together. And back then we used the word needy. I remember, like, needy. I hate that word now, because we would give that to the church for the baskets. And Ben, every single year, one of those baskets for needy families wound up on our porch.
It's all relative, and when you're little, you don't know. Sometimes you do know where you're at in the society, and what level you're at, or class you're at, or I should say. But yeah, I grew up with my single mom, and had our tough times as well. Latchkey kid, because she worked, and sent myself to school, walked myself back home, and so everybody has a different level out there and a different need. But
it just had. I love that you said bring your kids into this and teach them, because that is something that we have done with our daughter, because that is something that my mom did. I mean, we may not have much, but what we have, we share with others. And that was a valuable lesson, but I have to pull this up. So this is from my mom. Good morning from Mom in Michigan. Mom, who just turned 80 on November 2nd. Good morning, Mom. Love you. That always makes me so happy. Now, Perry Porter, we're going to get back here. Good morning from Borden.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh, love that. Thank you so much. Ben, I think, though, we have to go back and we need to talk Snowmageddon. Notice I said that in quote marks because Ben kind of burst my bubble a little bit here. There shall be no Snowmageddon today.
Hey, it's our first winter weather advisory.
It is.
And so what that means is it advises us to watch out for maybe some slick spots that could develop on the roads, especially your bridges and overpasses. The air gets underneath and can cool those surfaces down more quickly. There could be a couple of what we call snow squalls, which is just some heavier bursts of snow. That might put down some slick spots as well. And I'd say this is probably through early afternoon that we need to watch for this the most. It'll linger a little bit longer in Kentucky as the snow is moving from north to south, coming down basically from the Great Lakes. And so some batches of steadier snow from time to time for the rest of this morning through about early afternoon. And then a lot of areas will start to see the snow taper off mid-afternoon. As far as amounts, we're talking about an inch or less across the area. And most areas probably just less, a dusting in some areas. Again, as we mentioned when we started the show, my daughter up in IU was walking back from class earlier this morning, and there was a dusting up there. And sometimes you see, it's coming from the north, so that's what we might get that they've already had up in Bloomington. So today, snow showers and just cold out there. Cold is the impact for all of us. Wind chills in the teens and 20s today. It's going to be a little bit breezy again, and a very chilly Veterans Day. 20s tomorrow morning. 46 tomorrow afternoon, maybe 46. And then we might see a couple flurries tomorrow, but a little better chance of that over central Indiana. And then we level out and start to turn milder midweek, back up around 60 degrees. And we might make a run at 70 by Saturday. So this is, the crazy Ohio Valley weather, evidence of that right there in the 7-day forecast.
So we might make a run at 70 after having snow today.
Hopefully we don't get a cold because we're not used to the cold and the crazy weather and the ups and downs. But yeah, yesterday there's a lot of firsts happening. I posted a reel yesterday. I had the first flurries. We had the first indoor wood stove fire and the first winter weather advisory of the season.
Hang on one second. So I want you just real quickly. I asked you this before in another show. Explain how you heat your house because I love that.
So it's electric heat pump. It gets us down to about 32 degrees, and that's the cheap way to heat our house. But below 32, the heat pump doesn't work as well, I should say. And then instead of the emergency backup is propane. We don't want to use propane.
Yep.
So we use the forest. And I like last night, I got up twice and fed the fire, kept it going overnight. So I would say it's half enjoyment and half being cheap.
Okay. But it's a nice
I'm not
mix.
sure how much we actually save, like with chainsawing and having to get out there and get the wood, but it's nice ambiance to have the fire going too. So
because I grew up with a wood stove and there's just nothing, that whenever I smell wood burning, I stop. Like I just, between that and Sandhill Cranes, I have a neighbor, Bill Shannon, who's a tremendous artist. I'll never forget, massive amount of, I don't know what a flock of sandhill cranes are called.
I don't know, but I know
We
some
could
people
Google
call them
it.
the ribeye in the sky because it's not legal to hunt them in Indiana, but some people do out west.
Okay, we did not hunt them. We were
I hear
just
they're
enjoying.
tasty, but I've never had one.
They were beautiful. Ben just killed my memory. They were in the neighbor's field and it was beautiful and just.
Now my father-in-law,
We did not
Scott,
eat them.
he does not hunt them, but he'll be out in the field all day taking pictures of them.
They're
Like,
so
he's a wildlife photographer. But it's that time of the year; they should be flying.
Oh, I loved it.
Flying over.
But that and the smell of wood, I just stopped because we also had a wood stove and the heat and
That
just
radiant heat. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
But also, the work we had to put in to chop the wood and to stack the wood and all of that.
A lot to it. We asked Brady, my son. I was like, "Would you ever have a wood stove? Like when you grow up and have a family?" He's like, "Probably not," because he's grown up with how much work there is.
That's how I felt about cloth diapers because they've advanced, and I was like, "I'm going in cloth diapers." We used one.
Yeah.
Because from a price point. But when it came to what you have to do,
yeah, it's some dirty work.
It's definitely some dirty work. Speaking of some dirty work, all right, Ben, am I allowed to say No Shave November?
Yeah. So we're like a little
What
over,
a-
what are we, 10 days? 10 days
It is.
in?
It's the 10th of November.
We got to get a weekly picture after the show.
I know. So I had the first.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Does it feel better?
It's just starting to feel like there's something on my face.
Okay. So you really do feel that.
Yeah. But it's a good time of the year. It's getting cold, so it's a good time to have an extra layer. But but it is weird. I've never had it this long because I would take a week off, working in TV, and I could grow it 1 week. So now we're getting into like the 2 week.
And what does your beautiful, wonderful wife say?
She's putting up with it.
She's such a good
And
sport.
I did
love
break
Sarah.
the rules a little bit because
Okay.
and you did an awesome job with the Rotary Toast
Thank you.
Friday, by the way, for Dan Christiani. But I did just I didn't want to look
Did it? Oh, you didn't want to look like a grizzly
too
bear.
scruffy.
Yeah.
So I did just
How
trim it up
does
a little
that
bit.
feel? That would drive me bananas.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that part.
That would drive me bananas. We'll share. So Dan Christiani, the New Albany Rotary Toast was Friday. Friday.
What a big event.
Big event. We'll share photos though next week. I didn't want to share them first here. We'll post photos. The video's beautiful. All of those kinds of things. So we'll share that. But I'll let you grab this comment.
Lillian
Ooh.
Lansley down in Litchfield. Good morning. Ben and Angie have a light snow coming down at her house. Thanks for the report.
Light snow.
Love
So
the backyard reports.
coming up, Ben at 10.
We're talking snow. Join us. We'll talk about any potential impacts, when it will come to an end. The cold's a big story. So as usual around our area, we've got plenty to talk about here.
I mean, I keep going to the outdoor shot.
Yeah, the
like,
roads are fine.
come on, snow.
And the good thing, when
you
you
see
get
it?
these early snows, the ground temperature is typically above freezing. The air temperature is going to be above freezing here very shortly, if not already. So there's going to be a lot of melting. So a lot of the roads will be in pretty decent shape, unless you get a few of these heavier snow showers that are kind of spotty, and then
Right.
you might briefly have some slick spots. But that's kind of the nature of what we have today.
Briefly have some slick spots. We all have to remind ourselves how to drive in snow again.
Got to have that first freak out. And actually, if I would
We
say
do
all the way
have
through
to.
December, you have the freakouts, and then we get used to it in January, February, and then we're like, can it please stop?
I know you are not going to make a prediction. I get that. I was so sad to see the Farmer's Almanac. This is it. They're going to cease publication. If you had to say anything about the upcoming winter, what?
I get a feeling we'll get clipper systems, which is a clipper comes from Alberta. They're called Manitoba Maulers, Saskatchewan Screamers. They come
Wow.
from Canada. They drop in real quick, 1 to 3 inch snow, and they zip out. And that means we have like a northwest flow in the jet stream. So
Right.
we average about a foot of snow during the whole winter, about 4 inches in January, 4 inches in February. Give or take, we typically kind of get that much. So I'm not going to go on some weird limb and say it's going to be a horrible winter or anything like that, but it looks kind of up and down for the rest of this month. But a winter forecast is always going to be inaccurate. I mean, it's just too far out. But
Excuse me.
we'll see. But we might have a decent winter. Christian Walker, you got some snow up there in Carmel, Indiana. There you go.
Well, hopefully we're going to get, I'm ready. I don't know. I mean, although I did tell you, my kiddo, Olive, her soccer team has a tournament in Lexington on Saturday, so I'm not going to be sad about a 67, almost
It's gonna be nice this
70.
weekend.
Like, that's some soccer weather, but
But you know what? This year I'm like bringing on a big winter because I could work from home if I had to.
you sure can. You sure can.
Bring
Isn't
it
that
on.
lovely?
Yeah, it is.
Right? You don't have to rush into a
some
TV
freedom, yeah.
station. I'm ready for it, but I think more than anything, I just really want to make up for some lost, even though
Yeah.
we did an awesome job together. My family did, going through things, but I don't want to just make it through. I want it to just be enjoyable.
Embrace it,
Yeah. So, well, before we end Extol Unfiltered, Caffeinated by NWSB, our favorite artist, Adam Kleinert, Extol's longtime, forever, one and only creative director, artist, Adam Kleinert, out of Henryville, always ends, and I did not watch this one again. So, Art with Adam.
Check it out.
If you hate Mondays, then you have something in common with today's famous user. Garfield was created by Jim Davis of Muncie, Indiana, where he founded Paws Inc., which produced the comic strip and handled all licensing. Although it's seldom acknowledged, The Garfield universe actually takes place in Muncie. And if you're wondering if this cat was named after a president, the answer is yes. And no. Garfield was named after Davis's grandfather, James A. Garfield Davis, who was, of course, named after our 20th U.S. president.
Very awesome.
Always
I will say I
learn
can draw
something.
a mean Garfield because I was
Can you?
obsessed. I had all the Garfield books. And Jim Davis, Muncie, Indiana, I went to Ball State. I was working at Red Lobster. And Jim Davis came in one time. So I was like, oh. He was like my hero back in the
Really?
day. I loved how much of a smartass Garfield was. Like that dry sense
Yes.
of humor. Garfield was my man back in the day. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Learned
Odie,
an
I forget the other ones now.
I always felt badly for Odie.
Heathcliff is the other cat.
We have our director Todd Prince, who's over trying
Bringing
to
back some memories.
bring. Todd is a wealth of knowledge about almost any topic you can come up with. Well, thanks for joining us. And again, I just wanted to remind you when we were talking with Adrian and Lauren about the needs in our community and places to reach out. In addition to that, we also shared that NWSB has started a food drive that is today through December 15th at any NWSB branch. You do not need to be a customer. They're taking all kinds of things for a Reach food program for kids. And that includes canned foods, non-perishable items, snacks, dry cereals. And Lauren brought up also a really good point about essential items. I mean, things like diapers and having to choose between diapers and food and having to be in that position is a really, really difficult one. So
If you want to drop in the comments some places to donate, some other
places
areas,
to
feel free.
donate, or if you are, and I love seeing this on like the city group pages, if you are seeking help, there are people, including ourselves, who can weigh in and say, hey, try this, or tag other people in there. So please don't hesitate to do that. All right, Ben at 10.
I'm going to get geared up. We'll talk weather here in a sec.
All right, Snowmageddon or not. Have a great rest of your